the first video for the series of walking through the Module 5 labs. So the first lab we're going to look at is 5.1.2, which is going to be a troubleshooting lab. And it says you've recently bought a laptop, you brought it home from work, and connected it to your SOHO or your small office network. And however, even though you hooked it up the way you usually hook up, it's not working and you're unable to access the internet. So we're going to do some troubleshooting with the connectivity on the laptop. And so we're going to gather information first, and we've got some questions. So up here in the upper right, we've got some questions. So what are some IP addresses? What are some ping tests? And it's going to give us some options to look at. Now, what we're seeing here is kind of a logical layout of how things are connected via the network. And so the first thing we want to do is gather information on the home laptop using the network and internet settings. So I'm going to come over here to the right to that home laptop. And I should be able to right click and launch Windows. You can see here I'm on the home laptop. It gives me a little bit of a visual cue. But that's how I'm going to get between the modeler and the actual component. So when I'm in here, I am going to go to that network and internet settings. So I'm going to go to settings, network and internet. And I want to know the IP address, the subnet mask, and the gateway that's been assigned to the laptop. So if I remember correctly, I go into advanced network settings, and then I can go into more. Under Ethernet, I right click and hit properties, and I go down to my IPv4, hit properties there, and that should give me the numbers I'm looking for. First question is what is the IP address? So if I look on the left, the IP address is that very first box. So it's going to be 192.169.1.20. The subnet mask is the second one. So that's going to be 255.255.0. And then the gateway is going to be 192.168.1.1. Okay, so that's going to be my first three answers. Okay, I can go up here and hit questions. Once I can toggle between them, it will save the questions I've already answered, so I don't have to worry about that. And then part 2 says identify symptoms on home laptop. Use the ping command to test connectivity to all network nodes. So let's get out of here. Okay, we'll go out of settings. In my network modeler, I've got a home PC, I've got two home PCs, and I've got a router. Right click launch. I am going to come down here. I'm going to start a terminal in order to do a ping. And remember, I had home PC 1 and home PC 2. So let's take a look at what it says. Question number 4. Which of the ping tests fails? So laptop, PC 1, PC 2, and then that number. Okay, so let's try ping home-laptop first. Now it is a successful ping because it says reply from, and if I look down at the bottom here, it does say packets 4 sent, 4 received, so that means it was successful. Let's try that home PC 1. Home-PC1. Okay, you can see this one looks a lot different. This one does say that 4 were sent, 0 received, so that one was a fail. Let's try PC2. Okay, that one failed as well. And then let's try that third one. Ping 192.168.1.1. That one failed as well. So that's the answer. Number 4 is that the home PC1, home PC2, and the 192.168.1.1, which is the gateway, which is the router. That one failed as well. Okay, so gather information on the home PC1. So I'm going to move this. I'm going to go back to my network modeler. I'm going to find home PC1. I'm going to right click and launch Windows on home PC1. Another nice easy way that I can get my IP information is through the terminal window. I can do IP config, and it actually gives me the same information as you can get going through all those GUI windows. So I'm going to go ahead and open my questions. What is the IP address assigned to home PC1? So my IPv4 is this right here, 192.168.121. 192.168.1.21. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And the gateway address is 192.168.1.1. I'm going to do some pings again, but this time I'm doing them from a different computer on the same network. So I'm going to try and do the ping home laptop. Okay, that one failed. So I'm going to go ahead and click that one. I'm going to do ping home PC1. Okay, that one was successful. Ping home PC2. That one was also successful. And then finally ping 192.168.1.1. And that one was also successful. So for question 8, the only one that was not successful was the ping to that laptop. So there's some kind of communication issue between the laptop and the rest of the network. Okay, so a theory of probable clause. So home laptop and home PC have an IP address on the same network. So if I look at their addresses, 192.169.1, 192.168. So they are not on the same network. That might be an issue. They have the same subnet mask. They do. 255, 255, 2550, 255, 255, 2550. Not a problem. They have the same gateway address. So 6811, 6811. They do. Home laptop is configured correctly and has internet access. It does not. That's part of the problem. Home PC1 is configured correctly. Oh, wait, that's the true one. That's the false one. Okay, so the answers for those are that the home laptop and home PC1 have the same subnet mask. So what we have found out is that home PC1 is not on the same network. Okay, so let's go back up here to my network modeler. Let's go back to my home laptop. Let's fix that typo that we had. Okay, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to go find my settings, my network and internet, my advanced, my more, properties, my IPv4 properties. I'm going to change from 169 to 168. And I'm going to click OK. It was that one little typo that kept everything off the internet. Okay. Now I can verify on my laptop by, let's repeat some of those pings. Remember, I can use my up arrow with the command line. So my ping from my router works, my ping to my PC2 works, and then my ping to my PC3 works. So everything is working now. So that one change from the 169 to 168 is what fixed everything. I'm gonna go ahead and hit score my lab and score. Awesome. We'll be moving on to the next one in the next video.